I said across her nose, not up it. That's a good way to start. Yeah, so quick recap. They show up in Bastion after escaping defeating Chavaska and escaping the demiplane. Immediately there was a mecha pyro hydra that was airdropped on them.
Two basilisks.
While hiding,
And two basilisks.
And two basilisks while hiding in an abandoned bakery. All of which were subsequently destroyed with the help of some potential new ally. And at the very end, Harsk showed up and was like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Missed ya." Basically. And that's where we're going to pick up. Right off the bat, Toad launches himself forward towards Harsk to embrace his long-lost friend. Unfortunately, the cobblestone is a bit rougher than normal because of the Mecha Pyro Hydra that was recently dropped, and you trip, and you faceplant, and grind your face across a few cobblestones.
Is he too far away for me to reflex and or do a reflex check and like catch him?
You help dust him off and pick him up.
Perfect.
One thing of note with Harsk is that he's currently wearing a tabard similar to the ones you saw in Lamplight of the military arm of Bastion, and kind of encompassing his head is the visage of a great dragon head with its mouth wide open. The scales on it are kind of iridescent, so like if you move your head, it'll look like a different color. But the beard is spilling out the bottom, and you can still see Harsk's huge smile underneath. So it looks kind of like a dragon ate his head, but
oh God, Harsk, your head!
He's really happy about it.
Where'd you get that hat, Harsk?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. I didn't say I was worried about it. I just said we got it.
No, I just got it from my new friends here at Bastion.
Nice.
Yeah. This particular item was a particularly nice war trophy you got off of one of their commanders, one of Vector's commanders.
I was gonna say, shit, you killed one of Bastion's commanders and took his head? Like, what the fuck?
No, not this time.
I'm the fucking Pope now! What the shit?
Dragon Pope!
Dragon Pope!
So, with that, we are regrouped. I assume Mir cast teleport to bring everybody except the new person back to the keep.
And we're gone. No, I can't do that till tomorrow.
Good.
That was my fucking plan, though.
I know it was. I'm glad you didn't go through with it.
Almost happened.
I know it did. It almost happened right away, and I'm just like, Patrick's coming back next week. Please don't fuck me on this.
Alright, I would have went back to get him.
I would have found a way. I've been like, Harsk got lost and came back. Hey guys, I just came back.
This is cooler.
So, yeah, you guys are in the streets. It doesn't look like there are any more of those airships inbound. It looks like the few that you saw overhead are in the distance, definitely beyond the walls again. But yeah, so the attack seems over, at least in this general area. So you are left to your devices, as far as I'm concerned.
Are we still in the bakery or right outside of it?
You're outside the bakery in the street. The Pyromecha Hydra is leaking various chemicals onto the street and making that ticking noise that you'll not like a bomb, like a very hot engine that's cooling down.
Did we confirm if Krieger has a memory of the past few days?
I would like you to roll. Do we want to go percentile, or do we want to go with an intelligence or wisdom? Let's go with intelligence.
So
D20 plus your intelligence modifier.
16.
Yeah.
He does have memory.
It's kind of a fever dream, so you're not sure of like particular detail, but it's still vivid enough that like there are plenty of images there. There's just like the finer points are missing. Like the major events are there, but
He rubs his leg.
yeah.
Looks at Meard. Just gives him the stink eye.
I fixed you. You killed Jeremiah. I don't know if you remember that.
How did you know?
Actually, that's right. I wouldn't know that he killed him.
That's
Nope.
right.
Never mind. I retract my previous statements.
Krieger ain't saying
Meard
shit.
was the mastermind this whole time.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
That is there to haunt Krieger till the
That
end of
is
his
how
days.
it's gonna stay.
Or until he stops caring. So
I'm just gonna keep that secret right here next to my pancreas so it turns into a big cancer ball and kills me later.
Jeremiah's revenge.
Krieger's gonna go back to that plane and bury the body.
Sure as shit not gonna decompose.
I know. That's why he's gotta bury it.
So if you were a creature and you ate a body that had that on it, would you be able to digest it?
It can still be damaged, it does not decompose naturally.
Okay.
Granted, most of decomposition is things eating it.
Right.
But-
That's kind of why I brought it up.
But a normal creature ingesting it would, yeah. You're not pooping out a regular old Jeremiah.
I mean,
Just
Krieger
saying.
might, if he gets a strong enough strength check.
I think you'd need a little bit more fiber in your diet, though, to move it out. Like... Would that mean then your digestive tract also had the unguent on it?
Who knows? It would wreak havoc on your gut biome.
Anyway, sorry.
I saw a Reddit post recently with WoW cereal, like Ragnaros. By fiber be purged!
Nice.
2 spoons executus! Etc. It was really funny. Yeah.
That was great.
So, yeah, we're all standing in the street. There is a new person,
Would I have someone that I would need to report this to?
probably Harsk.
Ooh, Harsk is your boss.
Not directly, but you know he's up the chain from you.
Okay.
Not very far up the chain, but as a mage, you kind of the magic users in the city kind of have their own little side group / team that kind of work. They kind of coincide with the military, but not directly part of. But you can see his rank is high enough that it would be kind of similar but separate.
It's like he's Marines and you're Air Force.
Yeah, exactly.
Harsh looks at the uneasy look on everyone's face and jokingly laughs and says, I don't need to report anyone here, do I?
I just laugh and point at Krieger. Just for no reason.
It's okay, he's only one.
This is the only one.
I walk up to Harsk and go, Sir, we have successfully repelled another attack.
Oh, great job. Beard, you guys came back just in time.
We totally saved your butts.
You know that the person you've at least seen her a few times. This is Lyra.
Okay. Hey, Lyra, thanks for the report.
Yes, sir.
She's very enthusiastic about getting things done.
Good, Lyra's good. We need more people like you on our team.
The sooner it's done, the sooner I can leave.
Harsk, are we in full blown war mode in the city? What's going on?
Yeah, you guys have been gone a while, guys. there's been a lot of shit going on over here in Bastion.
How long have you been waiting for us?
It's been months, 3 months.
3 months. Shit.
We've been here for right as soon as it got to Bastion. There's an attack, and the city was sieged, and I just joined the forces.
Nice.
And it's been just one attack after the other.
Holy shit.
Mere roll an intelligence check for me.
Okay.
Nice.
21.
Your taxes are due 2 months ago.
Shit. What are the taxes on a keep?
Well,
You pay taxes to yourself?
Oh shit, how many taxes do I have to pay on a barony? This
No,
is
no.
fucked.
don't you get
You
the
collect
taxes?
taxes.
Oh, I collect taxes.
But
Yay.
only if you wear your crown.
Shit. That's you.
Well, still.
It's still like 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, still like first thing in the morning.
He only has
No. He
had
was asking
7
how much
minutes.
time he
Oh,
has.
he's asleep
Oh, that's right.
because of the spell.
Thank you.
We just finished battle and said hi to
About
Horst.
4 minutes.
Hars, we need somewhere for Toad to lay down safely. He's about to fall asleep here in a minute.
Yeah.
He's got a curse.
I have you guys come back with us, me and the troops, and we go. Want to go back to like the nearest sort of shelter.
Sure.
Is there like an FOB we can go
Yeah.
through? Sweet.
My what?
It's about 5 minutes away.
She's an old sleeper.
Ridiculous.
Horst, can I keep the bakery?
The what?
The
bakery
bakery.
you're hiding in.
Krieger points to the bakery.
I don't think Hars can give out buildings.
He just said I could. I'm keeping it.
He just said nah.
Well, keep in mind, Krieger has shown an affinity for baked goods, and a proclivity for selling them
Yeah.
out of a stand.
I understand.
So,
We'll get you a bakery. Don't worry.
walking back, it's typically about a 5-minute march back to the forward barracks. Knowing that you have 4 minutes, you guys hustle and make it in 3.
Krieger can carry him too.
Yeah, but we're still trying to keep things as active as possible. It's basically a mix of a barracks and a first aid shelter, a field hospital kind of a thing. There haven't been, granted the air raids, they're new, but they haven't punched in this far successfully yet because there are enough defenses concentrated in the area to kind of repel basically anything. There's an entire contingent of magic users of many types that can just basically blast anything out of the sky with a snap of a finger, so to speak. So you're safe here. Since it's well behind the walls that still have yet to be breached, there's not like a bulwark or anything. It's just mostly it used to be a market, but there's a big cathedral there that is used as the main barracks and shelter. And then there are tents and the other little market kiosk areas have been used as makeshift shelters and tents, and there are tables out and weapon racks everywhere. Just basically whatever people need is there and available. And there's plenty of hustle and bustle going around.
So I'm curious, from which god do you get your powers from?
Toad responds, Gorham, he's the best. He's the best there ever was, best there ever will be. Am I wrong? Yeah. So that's what he says.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
He's gonna choke you. He's gonna meet you on the battlefield, and in epic combat, he's gonna slice you right in half. Oh yeah!
Bones up.
I'm trying to figure out how to say slap into a Slim Jim, but with like Gorham in there somewhere, and I can't.
Yeah, I got nothing. No, it's not there. I don't know. Weird.
I feel like there should be something there,
Right.
but it's not.
There's not. Nope. So, we have about a minute before Toad falls back into his year-long slumber. Arsk, you want to magic him out of this?
Say what?
You want to magic this out of existence? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
He multi-classed since he's been gone.
He took 8 levels in Bard.
Shit.
Nice.
He D-leveled Barbarian and took Bard.
Much more convenient.
Not a choice I would have made.
I would. Bards are awesome.
They're pretty cool. What would we like to do? Or did you want to continue your conversation with the guy who can't talk?
I expected him to just fall asleep right then, but
I see.
You will find all your answers.
I just wonder what's been going on with Toad.
Many things, but Nick can't talk right now, so we're going to skip that. Because
Toad-
Toad falls asleep.
Toad's been cursed. See?
And as... See? Thump. Toad just kind of fades and then slumps.
So what happened was...
Dude, watch this. And I poke him with a stick. Nothing.
He's cursed. I should have another chance to fix him tomorrow.
Would I know of, from my time here, of any place that could help him remove the curse?
Probably one of the clerics, maybe.
Okay.
Depending on the curse, maybe a wizard.
But it'd have to be like a really good wizard. Not like me.
Mediocre wizard at best should be able to do it.
We need a quote-unquote better wizard to do it.
I do, yeah, I look at her and say, I think there's a better wizard around here, looking at,
I'm just really tired. And seeing all this, and he says that, and I'm just like, whatever.
You know what they say? 1 in 5 wizards.
no offense, Beard, it's just a different specialization.
It happens to lots of wizards.
Performance issues 1 in 5.
He's the one wizard that doesn't recommend using toothpaste, ever.
That's right. Prestidigitation, that shit. Yeah, are there any, like, battle clerics or like, clerics that are, you know, sitting around that we could use to fix Toad? He's had it a little rough since we've been in the other realm.
Yeah, there is a few people that may be able to help. I would like to take you guys over to like the nearest one, though I'm not sure where that'd be, like in relation to us.
It's nearby.
It's nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. Would you guys like to go over there, see what's going on, see if
Yeah.
we can get some help? Perfect.
Krieger,
Yes.
can you carry Toad?
Whoop.
that's
I carry
recruitment,
Toad.
wasn't it?
Lyra, was it?
Yes.
You coming with?
Sure.
Go. Let's go!
You guys make it to, yeah. Like I said, it's nearby. It's actually part of this little area. It would be on the other side of the market. There's a very, really, really super fancy looking tent that looks completely out of place. It's, like, covered in bright purple and blues and pinks. There's, like, streamers coming. It looks like it should be a circus tent. And it's the size of a very small circus tent. But, yeah, if this isn't the tent of a wizard, it's someone who certainly fancies themselves one. Because even though the wind is blowing south, all of the flags are blowing exactly perpendicular to where you're looking. So they always look exactly like you want them to look.
I look at this and I just roll my eyes and just like whatever.
What's the equivalent of wizard mini muscles?
Mini magic.
Blue ones.
There are more important things to use your magic on.
Limp wand.
So, if you guys wanted to go in, you totally can. Inside this rather flamboyant tent, there's a rather, at this point, haggard-looking man with incredibly blonde hair and incredibly blue eyes, except he looks like he hasn't slept in like 4 or 5 days. So it's just kind of everywhere.
Krieger immediately likes this guy.
He's got like a 5 o'clock tomorrow shadow.
I look at him and I go, "Sup, Point Break?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me
But
neither.
how can I help you?
This one is cursed with sleep for the next year-ish thing. I tried to break it, but I failed. Can you help?
It takes a strong personality to admit your shortcomings.
I'm also just really tired.
Well, war is a very draining thing.
Yes.
I will see what I can do.
Appreciate it.
Sleep curse, you said.
Yes.
All right, let me take a look. And he slaps his hands together. And you can see he slaps his hands together, rubs them vigorously, then it kind of slows down, and you kind of see the fatigue set back in, and snaps back out of it. Right.
He's one of the
Freeze red.
best. On good
I mean,
hands.
no. He begins to gesticulate wildly, casting rather much more flamboyant magic than Mir typically would. They're like the particle effects are turned to extreme, and he's like drawing runes in the sky above.
I'm picturing it as the
Above
dude from Harry Potter.
Toad, yeah. And it's almost like doing Minority Report for a little while. And eventually the incantation comes to an end, which should only take a couple of seconds, but he takes it like 10 or 15, so it's like, you finished that spell like a while ago. Get to the point. Get on with it!
He's just holding that last note.
Krieger's watching, he's all doughy-eyed too, like, wow. Wow, this is awesome. He's a powerful wizard.
Why don't you do that? You suck.
So yeah, he's holding the note for quite some time, and then he draws one finger straight down onto Toad's forehead, and nothing happens.
Shit, damn.
It's like, yeah, I'm having a bad day too.
It's alright.
Try again this time tomorrow?
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
See you then.
Yeah.
It was good to see you again.
Magic dudes!
Always good to see you.
Here, I gotta say, I like your style better. I say this as we're leaving.
Well, to each his own.
As we walk out, Mir, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
That was awesome.
It looked really cool.
Can you do that too?
No.
Why not?
I suck.
Alright, so, you guys are still there is still some market elements, so if you guys wanted to do any shopping or purchasing of anything or requisitioning, this is the perfect opportunity.
Got everything I need except for money. So I'll
Mir
purchase
wants
it.
to.
Yeah, we can assume that you had those on you.
I want to green light.
More, always more.
Just some flour and eggs and sugar.
Oh, totally. You get all the things you need to do exactly what you're thinking.
Yep, get them all
Perfect.
by myself.
Sure.
And I bring them all back to the bakery.
He just leaves them there and leaves.
Krieger wants to bake.
Krieger wants to bake. So Harsh, you said it's pretty much been never ending. Is there ever a lull in the fight? Should we be on a front line somewhere, or what's going on?
gonna do 100 gold worth of shit.
Shit, yeah. Mars?
Arson, you there?
Yeah. Yep. Still here.
Cool.
Yeah. The fighting's been going on nonstop. I just like over the board. Did they see like if I had troops behind me or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, you had your little squad with you.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not
we
with you
were-
right now, but...
Sure. I had explained to them that we were going. We were an airship that was attacking, but it seemed to be the thing you guys attacked. But they've been dropping stuff left and right, just nonstop.
For about a week.
Yeah.
We wanted to do the same thing.
You may want to be prepared for in case something like that happens again, because I have no doubt that may occur before you guys decide to take off, or we boogie on out of here.
Good note. Alright. Well. Well, I mean, I still have spells and stuff for today, so if anything does happen, we're ready to go. Or at least I am. Toad's messed up. Is there like a barracks we can put him in for now, or something? Or is there like a place we should go?
Yeah. I would assume so. Well,
Or I guess I should also ask Harsk, like, what's our immediate idea? I mean, you're kind of ingrained here. Are we the new battalion of Bastion to save the day?
I've been kind of for me, it's been pretty therapeutic after all the tragedy that happened, and this has been really therapeutic for me. But I do know that we were here for a purpose. Were you guys to get what you needed to from the other plane?
Well, we found where Vector's been getting all of its stuff. We talked to a guy on the other side named Hagen, right? Is that his name?
Yes.
Hagen. Hagen, he's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's just he's really into ideas. And so he's been helping Vector.
Oh, knows.
Yeah. So he's been helping Vector make all these war machines and stuff. It was actually kind of interesting. I found out some stuff about me. Apparently I knew him from like hundreds of years ago, which I'll go into more detail later. But essentially, I mean, stopping it from that side is probably a bad idea, but Shyla, do you remember Shyla?
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
She went with us there. I think she might have blown up the place where Hagen was, and we definitely destroyed this big clock tower thing later, like across the way. That was fun and dangerous. But yeah, so I don't know if the machines are gonna keep coming. Probably still they're gonna keep coming, but I think the best way to finish this is probably gonna be to deal with Vector directly, not that side. Because even if we do, Vector still has the shit that they have.
That's okay. From this end, the commander's been telling it to deal with this one woman who has been coordinating the strikes.
Okay.
The name is Remel Levitt. I never pronounced her name right before, but yeah, she's been coordinating all the strikes, and we've been trying to get to her. So if nothing worked on the plane side of things, this may be our next best chance.
Yeah. Do you guys? I mean, is there any info on like where she is, or is there like an attack plan in progress to try to get at her? We can like piggyback onto and set stuff on fire.
Yeah, Matt, would I know anything like that?
Primarily, you guys have been dealing with the new threat of the airstrikes. You were coming up with a plan to try to infiltrate the war camps to dispatch her directly, and then things changed, and it wasn't just throwing things against the wall; it was throwing things over the wall. So you've had to take a couple of weeks or a week or so to adjust. But the plan is still probably to either do some infiltration or some other weird nonsense that you haven't thought of yet.
Okay. Yeah, so I explained this to the group.
Alright. Well, is there anybody, I imagine that if she's a high target, she would be being shrouded potentially by other magics. Has anybody, like, tried to scry on her or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, nothing that I'm aware of.
Well, I guess for now, I want to be helpful. I don't want to just kind of be sitting around, but at the same time, we're kind of limping along with Toad sleeping.
Yeah, I think in this case, like, I would like to help Toad get better, because I think, like, as far as what I know of, like, definitely you, Beard, and as far as, even though these are, like, new friends, they seem very worthwhile to have in an attack like this.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get Toad recovered, and then try to go from there.
Harsk, you should have seen Toad on the other side, man. He got all, like, glowy and super powered, and he was, like, cutting the whole armies and shit in half with one swing. It was crazy.
One may say Super Saiyan.
Right? It was...
Speaking of which, though, wasn't there
His
another
hair
one
went
of
all
you?
yellow.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? Did he not go with you into the
He
portal?
died.
Oh, shoot.
I don't know how.
Oh, shoot.
Krieger was just recently turned back from being a construct. He was like mechanical Krieger. And we had this key, and as I say that, I literally lift up the key.
Yep.
We had this key that apparently turned him into this. And then we had to do, like, he had to do what we said. He couldn't talk. He basically just took orders. But, we tried to make a deal to fix him. That didn't work out. We ended up having to run away during this big battle, which was the awesome Toad battle. Right at the end of that, it was really cool. And then we all kind of, like, went separate directions, and then, like, 14 hours later, Mechano Krieger showed up with Jeremiah on his shoulder, and Jeremiah, he was dead, like, a lot.
When I hear that he died, like, I totally understand that Krieger was in mechanical mode, but I do temporarily rage at just the hearing that Jeremiah died.
Okay, you get that little, like, fuming internal...
He's the nice one.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
So,
It hurts. There's definitely a rage in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
I tried
also, just as an internal monologue, there is also a bit of respect for Toad for hearing of his battle.
Sure.
How many things did you kill?
I tried to bring Jeremiah with us. I put the unguent on him like I did for you. But we had to go, and I couldn't bring him with. So, that sucked. I have his cat, though. And I bring out the little jade idol. Or the idol.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Is there hair in that? Is there hair in there?
It's a cat. It's
Impressive.
a big panther.
Oh, a cat.
Yeah.
I thought you said a hat.
Oh, no, it's a cat. I don't know how to, like, get it out, though. I'm gonna have to take some time with it and see if I can, like,
That little extra.
let her free or something. I mean, I don't want her to, like,
Can I?
be a thing all the time. So,
I do. Let me. I say. Let me try. I'd like to do like a handle animal check.
It's currently a stone figurine.
Oh, all right. I don't try a handle animal check.
Right. You pick up the stone figurine. You have handled the animal.
he picks up the figurine. Come out! Sorry, he turned into
Don't-
Krieger.
This
there
is
for a
really
second.
inconvenient!
It doesn't
And you
get it.
crush the thing.
Smash! No!
It didn't come out, damn it.
Damn it. Would make Cole work on that?
Goes right back into an island.
But yeah, So I'll have to figure that out. Maybe I should sit and try to figure that out. Although I'm also half scared that if I do succeed, I'm just gonna be in a room with a giant fucking cat who's gonna be angry
That's true too.
because her partner is not here.
Yeah.
Maybe we should focus on getting Toad better, and then we'll deal with the cat thing.
It's also of note that Toad looks like pre-serum Captain America. Yeah, pre-serum Steve Rogers at the moment.
Aww.
No!
You
What
can
did
do
we
this
decide
all
the
day.
gestation period
All
of
his
the griffin
Gorham
is?
juices sucked out.
That is the gayest sentence I've heard all afternoon.
All afternoon. The last 20
Griffin
minutes.
Yeah, so, just following up, it's like, yeah, Mir, it sounds like you guys just did you guys go kind of hell and back, and to come back for more hell with that Hydra, I don't think you guys are going to be much use in your current. Let's go ahead and rest up and just deal with Toad first.
Okay. Cool. Let's do that then.
Also, for the DM, I'd like to, would I be able to be close enough to to talk to the squad that I was in? I'd like to kind of send them out
Totally.
go
Patrol.
scout. Yeah,
Totally.
perfect.
They proceed out.
Perfect. I like them to keep their eye out for anything suspicious.
Totally.
For sure.
They immediately turn around and point at all of us. They showed up out of nowhere.
There's no worries. These guys are good.
No, it's
Before we
okay.
get too far into
They go
it.
off screen to die, where I never have to deal with them.
They're
Bring
all
it us
wearing
some
red
things.
shirts.
Yep.
Oh no!
They have a particularly burgundy cavern.
When they leave, I look at you and go, yeah, between you and me, it feels good to be back with some capable hands.
Nice.
Yeah, you basically had
Capable hands
Footman.
and beard.
you basically had a squad full of footmen. They had swords and armor, and that's about it.
Yeah, capable hands, and that's saying that to Mirrored, so that's saying a lot.
Just looking down this one.
Is this where the pointy is? Oh!
One of them put a laser scope on it. It's like, it's a sword, you idiot. Where'd you find a laser?
1. Why? 2. Too dumb, even for you. Now I'll be more accurate. That's not how that works.
Growing up, I played paintball with someone that put a laser pointer on his paintball gun for aiming purposes. It didn't work.
Stupid.
It was really stupid.
Who's ever shot a paintball? They're not accurate.
It's really dumb.
They're not precise. Krieger would like to do some things with the stuff he bought,
Sure.
and then meet back up with the group.
Okay.
Donuts
and
muffins. Donuts and muffins. Krieger's Krispy Kremes.
Nice. Nice.
You wear a white hood to show how clean everything.
Krieger wears a white hood.
Well, he tried to go with the chef's hat. Yeah. He tried to go with the chef's hat, but it kept falling over his face, so he cut eye holes out of it.
Nice.
For some reason, I don't see KKK. I see like Mushmouth instead. Anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, actually, during the night, one of the clerics comes through on his nightly rounds, and is able to actually cast Restoration, resolving the 10 strength damage that Toad has. Doesn't resolve the sleepy time, but it takes care of all the one thing at a time.
But he's sleeping.
I'm also gonna, as we're waiting and we go and sit, I'm gonna make a couple scrolls.
Cool. Did anybody else have any stat damage that needed to be addressed?
So death occurs?
No.
I still have.
Todd gets restored. Is it like inflating a balloon up power up like a garden.
I picture it more like when you're like when there's a dent in something and you hit just the right way, it kind of pops back out. Yeah.
Krieger has something potentially.
What's that?
Filth fever. Do I still have that?
You certainly do.
Fuck.
That is also taken care of by the cleric as
Yay!
as you have had to make several potty stops.
One last shit.
When you take care of your needs elsewhere at the bakery, you come back to go camp out or to sleep for the night. But the cleric catches you having to take your third shit of the evening. It's like, you okay, bud? And it takes care of you.
I still have 3 strength damage.
Screw comes out.
The restoration's taken care of on that too.
Okay.
You know what this feels like? This feels like the save point before you get to the boss.
Or
All the health packs.
alternatively, it's like coming back into town after being out in the wilds for a month and a half
Right.
or 3.
Agree. Fucking A.
It's like
Alright.
it's like that arc is done, and now we're moving on to the next one.
That's where we'll die. Anyway.
So,
Tyler's the only one that keeps.
is there anything else that would like to be done during the course of the night? You make a couple of scrolls.
Yes.
Lyra, how about you?
More dwarves.
No,
Tradition at this point.
I'm good.
Okay. You just kind of mill about tending the things that you would normally tend to. Krieger does his thing. Harsk, what are you doing over the course of the evening and the night? Just kind of catching up?
I'm just polishing my armor.
That works.
And sharpening my weapons.
What kind of armor you wear right now?
Right now I have a bullet scale.
Oh, that's right. That thing was really cool. So,
Yeah.
it's... Polishing is weird because it's not made of metal. It's more like...
That's true.
He just rubs it fondly.
It's more you definitely can get a buff on it.
I swear I can make it
So
shine.
it's foreskin armor.
No, it is tightness and shell-like enough that you can get a good shine on it. It's just kind of... Everyone else is polishing, like, breastplates and full plate armor, and then you have this weird, like, natural, weird shell-like armor that you wear. But hey, it seems to have worked so far, and the iridescent dragon head on top kind of completes the image.
Perfect.
So, important note...
That's good enough for me.
Important note on that ability, on that helmet's ability, you can change it at will. So when you want to use it for the day, you get to determine which type.
Oh, that's an at will thing. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, because you can only use it once per day.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's
Krieger makes a point to get up and leave before dawn.
Okay.
To go back to the bakery.
Sure. You wake up early.
I'm gonna cook donuts.
Totally.
I also make a point to wake up early.
You make a point to, but you missed that memo, and so the Outlook invitation will be there later.
I forgot to set my alarm.
Yeah, you didn't charge your phone.
Since when did they change the meaning of to to from? They sent it in a memo, but it said to Peter, so you probably thought it was from yourself. You know, it's easier just to call you stupid. That was from when Family Guy was great.
Anyway,
Giant series of flash.
so the morning arrives, and I don't know if Lyra would. Harsk, I can almost guarantee, would want to crash out with his old buddies
Oh yeah.
in their tent.
Yeah.
Lyra probably is on her own.
I'm tending to the soldiers coming in
Sure.
for the shift.
So
trying to-
you woke up early and you're tending to them. Cool.
She's
I like
tending
it.
to the soldiers.
Jeez, hideous.
However, Krieger practically breaks down the flap of the tent, holding a basket full of something he's very proud of.
Dead babies.
Dead babies. No.
I killed them myself.
They're all from Vector, don't worry. What the fuck?
Can you just right now say the pit of despair?
This is more fucked up than the credit card thing.
Welcome to the pit of despair.
So Sorry, it's
Remember, this is for science.
yeah.
Greer, what do you got there?
You like you're
Some
startled. awake.
donuts.
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 Do I know what donuts are?
Yes,
Okay.
they exist.
Do they?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're pastries. Pastries are universal. Except his are kind of they're more tortellini-like, so they look kind of like assholes. But they're still tasty.
She just runs a hot knife through him.
Right, assholes.
Awesome.
Actually, I need
Do you
before
relate to these?
before I can determine if they're tasty or not. You need to make a profession cook or a craft donut check or craft baked goods check.
Roll to 12
It's wisdom.
for craft is intelligence,
It's either craft or profession cook.
but it's got the 3, so I get that 3, right?
Only if you have a rank in it, but you don't.
Fuck. Okay, so 14.
They're not bad. They're not. None of them are
They're
shaped.
not great.
They're not shaped right. They're not uniform, but they're tasty.
They don't look pretty, but they're good.
They're tasty. They get that nice little rustic homemade feel. So nice job, Krieger.
Weird, yeah, I'm just surprised. These are pretty good.
These are really good.
They have a nice
Did you
coating
go
of
back
powdered
to the
sugar. on them.
bakery and do this?
Maybe. I mean, no. There are not hundreds more back there right now. I promise.
So, Lyra, as you are tending to
I'm sitting up
folks,
shop.
you kind of go from place to place. This one tent does happen to smell particularly nice.
Krieger needs an income stream.
Like it smells like fresh baked goods. It's like I'm hungry.
Does anyone need healing? Ooh, donuts.
Lyra bursts into the, just kind of sneaks in.
Steals donut.
Hideous woman, what are you doing?
Okay, now you're just Drax.
The fuck, Ugo?
We need to make a determination whether your Christmas score is based on your social skills.
Nope.
Or, okay, so it's mostly she's not bad looking.
She's got chutzpah.
Chutzpah, yeah,
Too thin for Krieger.
fair.
I'd like it to be my people skills, but I can't play people skills
Right,
even
that's
in fantasy.
That's really hard. But the hard part about having a charisma skill is for high charisma scores. It's if you don't have that in real life, you just don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
You can sound smart. You can't pull off charismatic.
No.
So do like me. I play stupid.
Like,
Fucking easy.
You can't
Me
do
too.
sway.
I play stupid. Joe plays himself.
I just I just play a god because that way I get to make all the mistakes.
Right.
And if I
Liam
fuck
plays a
up,
narcissist.
if I fuck up, it's canon. So
Nice, right?
It's not intelligent design if God is a retard.
it's true.
That's true.
Thank you, sir.
So the new day greets you with donuts and powdered sugar.
Yay.
Good day.
I'll be back.
This is infinitely better than yesterday.
Krieger sets down the basket.
I go back to the bakery. I got donuts to sell.
Are you wearing your armor or not?
Yes.
Okay, so
I didn't sleep in it.
you didn't sleep in it, but so it looks like, to an extent, it looks like a demon king has just left the Arctic, because there are powdered sugar and flour streaks
Nice.
all over this very dramatic-looking suit of full plate. That if it catches the shadow in a certain way,
While I'm in the
looks
bakery-
straight up demonic.
The armor's off.
Is he the King Arthur equivalent of Tony Montana right now?
Kinda, yeah, yeah, totally.
Only less fun.
Yes.
Alright, I've reloaded. He comes back with another full basket of donuts.
Nope. I sell them.
You sell them, you're selling them in a war-torn city?
Yes.
That's fucked
In
up.
your armor?
No, I took the armor off when I get back to the bakery.
Okay. So
So I
you,
leave, I put it back on.
You were particular.
it's a shame you left
shitty-
the orange suit at the keep.
Oh, no,
Did I?
you did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's on the armor stand
Yeah.
because you didn't want to wrinkle it.
That's okay.
All
I
right.
got powdered sugar all over it.
Maybe orange creamsicle.
So,
as
in that
it is
case,
morning.
While you
Oh.
do your thing,
Yeah.
I need you to make a charisma check.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, Toad. We're gonna try this. Fingers crossed.
6?
Huh?
6?
Buy these donuts!
Donuts.
Because I can't talk.
It's gonna work if we can't talk. Alright, I'm down. Alright, break enchantment.
The DC is the same as it was last time.
Yes.
Remember what you got last time?
25.
You got a 25 last time.
Right, it's a
Lend him your
26 to beat
power.
him.
That 7 came from me.
It's a 16.
That is not high enough.
Bonded object. Try this again.
Attempts to repair it today.
I can only prepare one 5th level spell a day.
But you don't have any bonus spells for Ben.
What's your intelligence score?
I will. It's 19. I will. Next time I can put another point in, I'll get one.
So,
Alright,
Mirror has to level before we can wake you up.
let's do this.
Better?
It's a 20.
You can also go to the wizard guy.
Yeah. We'll go again.
What is Wizard Guy's name?
We haven't found out yet.
What?
Wizard
Lara know?
guy.
Always local.
Where's local?
So, you go to the flamboyant tent.
Yes.
The flags are all pointing the other direction, but still exactly the way you would want them to point.
So no
8.
matter which direction you come from, they're all...
They're all exactly to the right.
Is it in the open here?
No. Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. And this time he looks actually rested.
You looking
So,
better.
His hair is coiffed. His stubble is trimmed. I feel much better. So, are we going take 2 on the Sleeping Beauty over here?
Yeah, I failed again.
He
Outstanding.
sounds like a paladin.
Well, let's see what old Flanagan can do.
Quick question. Are wizards able to, like, assist each other?
No.
No.
In ritual spells, yes.
Which this is not.
Fair
This
enough.
is just a spell. Where the fuck did my d20s go? Here's one. I got this one. Here goes nothing. That's a 6. Well,
Eventually, we're gonna do it.
he walks. He kind of just drops his head. He walks over to his mirror. He looks into the mirror, combs his hair one additional time, walks back.
Hey!
Come on.
Nick, you want to pick it up?
Natural 1.
It did it!
Nice.
And with that,
I was gonna say, he rolled so poorly, Toad's gonna sleep for an extra
oh hey, I found all my
year.
dice. So yeah, no, he got a 28, and Toad coughs and sputters and wakes up.
Yay, Toad!
Oh, Toad!
Is he all still skinny Steve
It's been a
Rogers?
No,
day.
that was
It's been a
restored.
day since you
He's
were awake last.
How much time do I have?
You're awake. He fixed you.
However, unfortunately, he fell asleep with his mouth open, so his entire body is as dry as the Kalahari. So he really has a hard time speaking at the moment. Cannon,
Nice. I saw
He
it.
did it.
He did it.
you are welcome. No, still fragile. Still fragile. No, let's not do that. Oh, no, let's not do this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help the effort. Ow. And he goes back to, and he just kind of goes back to the mirror and just tries to straighten out all of the wrinkles in his robe now that were caused by the squishy hug of the sweaty, sweaty man.
Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome, sir.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
You as well.
Thanks.
You make it to the circle jerk tonight? Thought so.
Call it a soup kitchen.
Your turn in the barrel.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to sleep.
Toad goes back to sleep. No.
You go to sleep around that.
What's going on?
We're back in Bastion. Or we're still in Bastion. We're basically just waiting until we can get you back to full health.
How long has it been?
Oh, you do.
Been a
You'll
day.
feel invigorated as fuck. Like you're. Whereas before you kind of like. You felt like a little old lady. You can pray to Gorham. You feel the connection. You start to incant a spell, and the typical gold sparkly fingers start to happen.
Yay. I got my sparkles back.
I'm glad to see it. Apparently we were in that other dimension, or that other plane for 3 months, by the way.
Here.
Yes.
Can you send a message to Mananan?
No.
Yes, you can.
I don't have that thing.
Why didn't you bring it?
We did that. He has it. I thought. Do I still have that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought you did.
Does it
thought we
recall
used
to you?
He probably would have given it back to you once you got back to the keep. It wouldn't make sense to keep it.
I don't have it in my inventory. I thought I took it out.
Pity you don't have
We
a
can say
chance.
he gave it back to you.
Okay.
It wouldn't make sense for him to leave it there.
I can. Yes.
Has my kid been born yet?
I forgot about that.
Give me a knowledge nature.
The only one who knew anything about Griffin eggs is dead.
Right?
Knowledge nature is a 13.
Yeah, you don't quite know the gestation period of a griffin egg.
You know who should ask? Jero.
The dead guy.
The dead guy.
Do you have speak with dead?
No.
I do. Let's go back.
I'm not going back.
Jeremiah, I'm so sorry you died. How long do I have until I'm a dad? Okay, cool. Thanks, bud. Good looking out.
I'll go back. I'll ask for you.
Don't
Stay
nobody
here.
nobody talk to Jeremiah.
Nobody talked Jeremiah.
Igor
did that.
That dead guy is a liar.
Whatever the dead guy told you is bullshit. Never trust the dead. Dead people need to stay dead.
I pray.
You do indeed. You gain your spells. Hooray for those. You are also 9 if you weren't before. Okay. Just want to make sure. Alrighty.
Come 11 o'clock in the morning, I meet back up with the group.
Sure. You guys spend a few hours just kind of regaining your composure, kind of like, okay, things are weird, but
Do you have any
okay.
more donuts?
Oh, he's hawking them all over the camp.
What do we do?
I don't know.
I know a bakery that has some. Would you like to buy some?
I don't want to travel.
1 platinum each.
What's the plan?
I don't know right now. Well, originally, the first part of the plan was to get you back awake, which we have done. Check mark. The next part is, it sounds like Vector is really only succeeding, or their main chunk of succeeding is this one person who is coordinating all the attacks, and we're gonna attempt to go kill her.
So cut off the head. Watch that.
Exactly. So,
Standard mission.
standard mission. Kill
Let's do
everybody,
it.
take all their shit.
Yeah, the dwarf and the new guy will die. You know.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's the next plan. Unless you want to take a day to be awake and do stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, Toad, you've been
How are you
through
feeling?
a lot. How are you feeling?
Reinflated.
And it
Yeah,
feels
water.
so good.
Yeah, you do seem larger than you were yesterday.
That's a weird thing for a girl to say. Just saying.
Dude, Toad, I whispered to Toad and say, dude, Toad, get that.
Get that.
She's good people, get that.
It is warmer today.
will say that Harsk, you do have a small sense of not guilt, but you know that feeling when you're a kid and you fucked up, or you're leaving something out and you just don't want to tell your parents.
Sure.
So, was that a thing you ever had?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
So you do have a little bit of that going on because there is more that you know that you haven't divulged yet.
Okay.
But you have, you think that it would be best brought up with more context. So
Okay.
if you want to provide that context, I would recommend going to a high place.
I do need to catch up with Hart.
That is
Wait,
true.
you said let's see. Yeah. It's been a while. Like it sounded like you had some crazy battles of your own on that other side.
I was the backup plan.
And it succeeded. You got all of everyone back. Well, most everyone back, but that's not your fault.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. I was asleep at the time. Yeah, so
Yep. Makes it hard to stop when you're asleep.
turns out cultists really like to get cut down in mass numbers. And I was happy to oblige.
Almost sounds cooler like this.
Go fuck yourself.
These aren't hockey pads.
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Smelly cat. Smelly cat.
Because I'm Batman.
I'm not trapped in here with you.
Swear to me.
You're trapped in here with me.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate what you're doing. Yeah, no, I appreciate the effort.
So, what's been going on this side?
I have a bakery.
Well, Krieger's brought some delicious donuts, and that we're thinking about going to attack the person in charge of all these airstrikes.
That's a good call. Where are they?
I do want to go above board real quick for the DM. Say this other stuff that I'm keeping to myself right now and waiting for more context.
Yeah, it's where she can be found. You know where she can be found.
So exactly what I just asked.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just haven't put that out there yet because that's kind of the crux of the matter.
Okay. Sure.
She's in another plane of existence. He's like, no!
Son of a
God damn it! I quit.
Fuck you!
Beard, get us out of here.
Fuck you, Lars! I'm leaving!
To the keep.
To the keep!
No, I just wanted to save it for when you guys were feeling a bit more rested. Don't want to throw this all on you. You guys have been through a lot already. But once you're feeling ready, and you're feeling good to go,
Fuck, dude.
like I don't see why I should hold this back from you. But I do want to share with them the location.
Okay, so those of you that care to join may do so. Krieger, it seems, is at the bakery.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
I went back to the bakery to make a help wanted sign.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, let me rephrase that. Say like I do
Want everybody there?
with them when everyone's in a group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So later that afternoon, when Krieger comes back after putting up a help wanted sign at the abandoned bakery,
Right. Not
I
so
guess
bad. It's
people
clean now.
people that walk by think it's ironic. It's like a Banksy thing. Because Inquire Within is like the place doesn't have a roof. The thing mostly collapsed. You're
But
basically,
it smells great.
it does smell great, like when you're near the oven, but it's basically an outside bakery at this point. So, Harsk, you lead everyone up one of the observation towers nearby on one of the internal walls of the city. And as everyone is up at the top, overlooking, of course, well done. As everyone is is up top, looking out over the city proper and beyond, You see a very large portion of the city out in front of you that is in various states of rubble. It's still, like I said last week, it's not fully Berlin, World War II, but it's
London.
approaching. Yeah, London. So there are some blocks that are destroyed, but for the most part, the city is intact. The walls have not, as always, the walls of Bastion have not been breached. They still stand very tall. Because of those walls, you cannot see the army beyond. However, kind of looming in a haze above the wall and out several miles, you see a large ship hanging from a larger balloon.
Arsk.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with.
Are we gonna have an opportunity to steal our own skyboat?
There are, in
Hey, we
fact...
can.
Sorry. There are, in fact, several, looks like slow rotating propellers kind of keeping the thing aloft. It's one of those, like, it's more Zeppelin-like than hot air balloon, so it's kind of a longer...
I'm just thinking Horde Zeppelin.
Basically, yeah. But much bigger. The thing is probably a few hundred feet wide, maybe 1,000 feet long.
Dibs.
This thing is crazy big, and it's far enough away that it's in the haze of the morning, but it's still kind of just like, well, that's a thing.
By the way, just to go back a step, I did send the little pigeon to
Yes.
Mananan to ask.
Sure. You were asking, or you were saying
Dibs.
dibs, but before that,
Dibs.
just dibs.
Are we gonna be stealing a skyboat?
Right.
Honestly, I'll be disappointed if we don't.
Same.
Well, I mean, I want the skyboat as much as the next guy,
No, you don't.
but I want the chick who's controlling the skyboat.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but when we kill them, someone's got to drive. So
I don't have a license.
just think, we can have a flying fortress.
Right.
Is the airship approaching, or is it just hovering?
It's
in one
hovering.
spot.
It's been in the same spot for a long time. Like
Okay.
it's been there for about 3 weeks. So the 2 weeks after that thing showed up, the airstrike started happening.
How far away is it?
Several miles.
We should attack it tomorrow.
We could attack it tomorrow.
I guess it is afternoon, so it wouldn't be morning haze; it'd be afternoon haze.
You know, Mir,
And
now that you're here, I recall when we were fighting a bunch of centipedes, from when I saw you last before I died,
Oh.
you can now use Dimension Door, or you can teleport.
I
Do you
can.
think can you do that? Is this the airship far enough away or close enough for you to be able to do that?
I can't use Dimension Door for that. I could use my new spell Teleport for that, but I can only bring 3 people with me.
Dibs.
So if me and maybe if there's another wizard or somebody who knows that spell as well, we can do that.
Okay.
Above board note and question for Lyra and the DM. She's a sorcerer. She can use teleport, right?
I don't know it.
It is on her spell list, but it is basically the same. Or you might not have that spell.
I don't have
You don't know it,
I don't know it.
but I do.
Yes.
So we could.
Nope.
Nope.
He couldn't.
That's not how that works.
Not for a sorcerer.
She knows magic innately.
Oh, okay.
That studying bullshit does nothing for her.
Oh, okay. So I can't.
Street smart. Book
Above,
smarts.
while we're above board, one more level and I can fly.
Nice.
Nice.
Let's go kill some boars.
Let's go kill 6 goblins and we'll level her up.
Right. Okay. So then she doesn't get spells that way at all.
No,
She
Nothing
gets
I can
spells.
do to give her
She
the
gets
spell.
spells through her bloodline.
Oh.
So there is no study involved. It's like, well, I woke up today and now I can cast fireball.
I get you.
I don't know how I do it. It's just I want to and I do.
had a dream and it happened.
Well, all right then.
some
Fear's going
sorcerers
nowhere until
literally
he
pull
hires
spells out of
people.
their ass.
Right.
It's just how that works.
Right.
I need employees
And
first.
Meard understands all of this. Joe
Yes.
did not.
No,
So,
totally understood.
so yeah. If
Whether
we had-
Lyra understands it is another thing entirely.
No, but would Meard know sorcerer? 'Cause
Joe's-
I've been presenting myself as a healer.
Yes, but then you also cast Magic Missile, which he also knows is an arcane spell.
That's true.
Yeah.
So there's still some like what the hell's going on here kind of a thing because you're also casting cure spells and presenting as a healer. You look like a priest, so there's something goofy about this person.
You might think Mystic Thurge.
That would be a good guess. There are very specialized magic users that can use both magic or arcane and divine magic. They're rare, but they do exist. Maybe I was one of them.
They're kind of a burden until level 7.
Alright. So yeah, I mean, my teleport spell, I can take us 900 miles, which is more than enough to get to the ship, but again, I can only bring 3 of us, so if we're all going, we're going to need to recruit more help. Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel comfortable just us going. My squad and I were on our way over there. We're looking to make our way over there. They may be good to have with us. The more the merrier.
Yeah, that's true. What's up, Toad?
You've talked before about the same kind of restriction with Dimension Door, but you can bring objects in addition to people.
Mhm.
Is it the same kind of deal?
Yeah, I can bring objects with us when we do that. I think it's like...
Kill me.
I have to look for something because
Great.
for very
Start
specific
sweating.
wording.
I just lift up that key. By the way, could I do like a spell thing, like a spellcraft on the key?
Yeah.
I want to do spellcraft on the key. I'm not
And
gonna
Toad,
use
if you
that
want
dice.
to on the chains, you can as well.
Spellcraft.
16. Okay, it is magical, but you don't. It doesn't really have any.
30.
30 for the key.
That's why.
So the key is still magical.
Mm. I have a really fucked up request.
Sure.
Can I find like a small rodent or something like scurrying around and then like
Tap the key.
tap the key on it and see what happens?
Nothing.
Okay. Alright. Very, very magical, scientific mind. Work?
No. So you tap the key on something or on a stray cat that walks nearby.
Oh.
Um,
Is it Frumpkin?
it's not Frumpkin. I do like Frumpkin. But nothing seems to happen. You do know the key does seem to have the command spell built into it.
Oh. Do I have any sense of like how I could use it?
With a 30, you could invoke just willing through the key. You can enact that command spell.
Okay.
Should go get Bruce.
Good to know. Go get Bruce. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
You don't necessarily know who the recipient of that command is,
Right.
but
That'll be fun.
logically, you can probably command Krieger once or twice a day.
Cool. I'm just gonna keep that to myself. Nobody knows but me.
Tried.
Krieger will get a will save. But it's a will save.
I grabbed the cat star.
Hey, Harsk.
What's up, Beard?
That's not Beard.
What's up, Beard?
That's not me. That's
not
Toad.
me.
I thought that was...
It's
I
Toad.
know, we sound really similar. I know.
Toad.
Why are we whispering? I get us confused too.
What's up?
Do you know anyone in town that
Yes.
can
I know a couple people.
that can magically sculpt stone?
Yeah, there are a couple
Like-
of druids
like
and a
dwar-
cleric that you know that can do that.
Dwarven clerics or druids?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I do. Why do you ask?
I need to have a statue of myself made.
A little bit bigger.
It needs to be life-size.
Put it in front of Krieger's Bakery.
Joe ever
If we can get the statue made today, we can attack the ship tomorrow.
Okay. You have me intrigued.
I also have myself intrigued because I have no idea if this is gonna work.
I have
But
no idea
I
what's
really
happening.
like
I love
it.
every second of it.
All right. Yeah. Let's get them to where they can get that made.
So you go to what looks like it used to be a glassblower shop. And behind that, there's a small little garden area where you find a dwarf in a cloud of what is clearly a very skunky substance that is now vaporized in a very fog in this little fenced-off area. People don't like to come back here; it's just too overpowering. But the dude knows his stuff. He's fairly powerful. You see him kind of laid back on an old wicker chair.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I am. How are you?
My friend here tells me you're a rather gifted sculptor.
I'm a dwarf. Of course I am.
How quickly can you make an accurate statue of me that's about 5-10% bigger?
You?
Me?
Who are you?
I'm Toad.
No, you're like a man.
Yeah.
Holy shit, is this the same glassblower guy? No? Okay, good.
This
Dwarf
is like
and
a
stone
dwarf,
sculptor.
man.
This is dwarf.
Can you do it or not?
Can't you tell by like the accent?
It's Dakota.
My name is Dakota. How are you?
I've heard of your sister.
My sister's a whore, man.
Yeah.
Your sister is a whore man? That's weird.
If you got $20, you can have her for like a week. Why are we talking about my sister again?
Can you make it or
I need
not?
to know as soon as this episode is up.
Anyone can make it if they put their mind to it.
God damn it.
What were we talking about?
Harsk, do you know anyone else who's a bit more qualified?
I am
You have
fully
command me.
qualified, man.
You're
Yeah,
full of
I
something.
mean,
will
don't
kill
challenge
you.
this guy.
That is also true.
If you ever command Krieger, I will kill you. Okay.
I have a really, really good idea.
Do you?
I want to turn you into a statue, man.
Perfect. Get it done. How long?
Would you have a big rock somewhere? Ooh! I know where I can find some. Come on! This will be fun. And he gets up and just kind of waddles away. He waddles out through the glassblower's shop, and then he waddles down about a block to a building that is just fully destroyed. There's just a pile of rock, and you can see bits of thatched roof just kind of sticking out of various places, and crushed wood. I bet I could take some of this and turn them into you, man.
Perfect.
Hold on. I need you to stand over here to get into the light. Cool. No, a little bit to the left. No, my left. No, my left. Oh wait, you didn't move. Sorry.
I cast dancing lights.
Hey,
Good time.
15 minutes later. What was it? Statue. Right. I had a really good idea, man. I'm gonna turn that guy into a statue.
How long will it take?
Oh, I was gonna say like about 6 feet, but no. Watch this. He claps his hands together and starts rubbing them. Then he just kind of like rubs his eyes a little bit. What? No, I don't want any. Fucking goats. Always trying to sell me stuff. Oh yeah. So he puts his hands on the stone.
By that I mean Matt.
And then vapor starts to kind of come out of his ears. And out of his nose.
He's a stoned worker, I get it.
I'm really good at this. I didn't even need to do that.
It's been so long since we've been in a place where an NPC can fuck with Nick's character.
I didn't even mean to do that.
It's so
He's
great.
a stoned worker.
I didn't even realize I missed it until we got here.
But yeah, he puts his hands on the rubble, and it almost seems to climb out of the rubble at first, but eventually it becomes a statue that very much resembles Toad.
Okay.
Except he's holding up like the biggest peace sign.
Because that's what Toad would do.
Yes.
Is it slightly bigger than me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Because he's slightly zoomed in.
I push past the fucking dwarf, pick up the
Oh,
statue,
Hey, whoa.
and start walking back to Mirror.
You're like really strong, man.
What's that over there?
What?
I just walk away.
Hey, that goat stole money from me! Get back here! You're very rude! And he goes and chases the goat.
I leave behind a
That's
donut.
not a... The cow stole money from me, man! Why are all these farm animals stealing money from me, and why are they in the city limits? I thought farm animals were no longer allowed within city limits. It's bullshit. I'm going
Krieger
to talk
leaves
to the
behind
city
a donut.
council.
And I leave with him.
Mirrored.
Huh?
2 things.
Yes.
1, we have a statue now, so we can attack the ship tomorrow.
How does
2, is there anything special about the Demon Lord chain that I took?
Oh, I don't know. Let me check. Spellcraft. Or detect magic.
Yeah, you detect magic first. It's magical.
Okay.
It occurred to me that I might not want to wear part of a corpse of a Demon Lord.
Good point.
Krieger is.
Spellcraft.
Krieger's an idiot.
Nice.
36.
That'll do.
Natural 20. Where was that when I needed to fix it?
Right there.
So,
Only 4 rolls away.
as this was one of the binding chains of Shabaska, it has 2 uses.
Okay.
1, when lashed around someone, can invoke Hold Person with a bonus. But because she's also was the Demon Lord or Demon Lady of Time, there's also a bit of divination within it. But just enough of a glimpse of the future that similarly to the Cyclopean ability that I can't remember the name of at the moment, doesn't allow you to choose the result of a dice, but does allow for kind of like a fortune thing. You can roll twice, take the better result.
Nice.
I just look at Toad and go, no.
You could see a couple of different possibilities of the future, and you get to choose from whichever one you prefer.
That was once per day old person with a bonus.
I didn't specify once per day.
Okay, I thought you did.
No, it can be used to or as hold person. It's a pretty potent magical item, but they have to be latched with it. It's not just like I hit you with it and you're hold, but you have to actually wrap it around them to hold them. Now, if you just happen to whip it around them, then it gets all the way around. Once it makes that connection, you can use hold first.
How thick is the chain or the links?
It's the same ones that you were bound by, so they're fairly
Beefy.
But it is wrapped. He's got about 10 feet of it wrapped around his arm.
Oh,
Put a fucking hook on that.
Stitches want to play?
Get over here.
right.
That
You mean the world to me.
So yeah, it's got 2 different abilities that are both kind of cool.
Okay, awesome.
I do tell you.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, I'll wrap it around my arm again.
Sure. You were held.
Ah!
You can call it Shavasca's Grace. Not a very graceful creature, but that's her divine power.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome. Now, Toad, what the hell? Why do we have a statue?
So that we can attack tomorrow.
But how can we all attack? The statue can't attack.
You can take the statue plus 3 people, right?
Yeah.
I can put myself in the statue.
What?
Does this make sense to Meard?
I am.
This doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Give me a spellcraft check. Or Knowledge Arcana check.
It's over at Mirrored.
Give me Knowledge Arcana.
Talking about.
Knowledge Arcana. It's a 25.
What level's the spell you're doing?
Here you go.
What fucking spell is it?
Don't tell Matt. I think it'll work.
You're like the MacGyver Pathfinder.
That's why I usually play bards.
Okay.
I think it'll work.
That is going to be a DM decision. If it works or not.
It might work
It might
once.
work.
If it works, it'll work once.
Yeah. But that's totally Matt's choice.
So you should
whether
probably
that
not
works.
piss off the DM?
Matt likes being surprised unless it's
I
with
really do.
herpes.
I'm very curious as to what the hell he's using. I'm thinking maybe some sort of magic jar, but not quite.
So, yes. If that does work, technically, yeah, then I could bring everybody there tomorrow. But, this is the most important part of this idea then. Well, no,
How
actually,
much does the statue weigh? Because you have a weight limitation on teleport, I think.
I do, but it's like,
It's ridiculous.
it's a lot.
Okay.
I'll read it again, but,
What if we put him in the bag of holding?
The statue and
right.
broken up tiny little
Here's the
pieces.
important thing. We can't destroy the airship. Here's the second important thing.
Keep it.
If we do have to destroy the airship, I can get us out, but everybody needs to be close.
I won't be able to get back into the statue again.
That's true.
Hmm.
So, well,
What's your limitation on Dimension Door?
This works
So-
on a one-way.
I've got
That's kind of plan.
760 feet on Dimension Door.
That's enough to go down.
Yeah, I could technically have enough to get everybody out of the ship if need be, but somebody's potentially staying wherever I put them a lot closer to the fight than the rest of us are going to be.
How does fall damage work?
1d6 per 10 feet.
Okay.
A lot.
Why?
Don't fall.
I found that I could fall slowly.
That's good.
That's good. That's real good.
Make sure you have that.
You just volunteered to be left behind.
Tyler makes bad decisions.
I realize you're new to the group, but you'll learn pretty quick you don't want to do that.
You see how I don't really tell anybody my shit until it happens? There's a reason for that.
God doesn't even know what I'm doing. How do you think I survived this long?
Why do you think he's fucks with you so much?
Right?
Worth it.
Okay,
Not
so
worth it.
yes, as of
Question.
yo,
Question. Or so that all the things that are being flung into the city, are there like smaller ships that
Yes.
are dropping them off?
Yes.
Or is it okay? Are there any that I know that may have crashed but not necessarily destroyed?
If they've crashed, they've been destroyed. It's basically the nature
Yeah,
of them.
that's fair.
You've basically taken out the balloon part, and they fall, and then because they're a few hundred feet in the air, they crash.
Have there been any?
None have been
that
captured
have-
intact.
None have like delivered troops and landed somewhere.
No, they've been dropping these weird mecha monsters.
On average, how many feet in the air are there?
About 3 to 5.
3 to 5. Okay.
3 to 5 feet in the air.
Perfect.
Yeah, they float really low. These bump into the wall. Shit, this didn't work.
Is that flying or is that ground effect?
300 I could probably
Are
do.
there? I asked this to Hars.
That's 30 d6s.
Are there any that are? I mean, obviously they fall out of the air and they're destroyed. Are there any that are still decently together enough for me to use a make whole spell on it, like over and over, and try to repair it? Or is that just going to be a huge, tedious waste of time?
That.
Okay, got it.
Also,
Yeah.
if you timed it right, you might be able to sneak back in as part of, like, after another attack.
Well, that was the idea. So, Hars, but piggybacking off your thought, we could wait till the next, essentially, bombing raid and see if we can jump onto one of those.
That wouldn't have as much of a surprise.
It really wouldn't. So, I mean, but that it is an option. Or we could
Take your ship and fly it down.
Well, we could stay here, wait for the next raid, and potentially get like 2 or 3 of those and commandeer them for our side. How many do they normally send in a raid? As I stare at the DM.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hars, how many?
Do it. Go ahead.
Exactly 4.
Exactly.
Citywide, probably it depends, but like in a given area that you can see, a couple of dozen. Citywide, maybe 50 to 100.
Holy shit.
Okay.
Okay.
This place is about the size of Rome. It's big.
Well, it's just the idea of here's the thought. We can either, because this is warfare, not just a straight up one fight. We can either stay here for a few days, we can work out trying to, like, steal their shit, and this side will have something, and then we go to fuck up their big one. Or we just go to fuck up the big one, but we'll still have the little ones to deal with.
I have an idea. We can steal several of them, and each command our own ship, full of basically.
I want NPCs to command those ships.
That is safer.
Yeah, I throw
But-
myself in the ship.
I think as soon as the airships show that there's a new weakness or it's no longer working, then they'll immediately change tactics. If we just come at them right now without upsetting the status quo, we'll have a much bigger advantage.
Okay. That makes sense. I would say let's wait for an air raid before we go over there. That way we have time and they can't reinforce, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, if that's the plan, I mean, we can go as soon as tomorrow. I just have to adjust spells.
Same.
I need to hire some people first. Got a business venture.
Give me an knowledge local. Or actually, no, give me a diplomacy check.
Never the response you want.
14?
You keep trying to hire on conscripts. It's like, I'm already conscripted. You can't hire me for something else. I would love a job at the bakery after I'm not being besieged, but right now they kind of have me cleaning the trains. It's not great, but it's what it's something. Trust me, I'd much rather be baking, but I'm not part of the bakery corps.
Wash your hands before starting.
I'm cleaning a latrine. Why would I wash my hands before I'm starting?
Your tween jobs.
I'm going to another dirty one. It makes no sense why my hands will be cleaner after I'm done. I then get them more dirty after cleaning the latrines. I'm not making it worse by being there and showing up with...
Turn around and walk away.
You have this entirely backwards. Why are you... magic users are so weird.
Hey.
I'm a healer.
I've never seen sparkly poop before. It's fucked up, man.
Awesome. Okay, so is that the plan? Wait for tomorrow, and then we're all gonna try to just pop over.
That's done.
Hars, do you have any info on what the layout of that thing is?
Nope.
Say that again?
Or do you have any info on what the layout of that blimp is?
Well, I don't really have any info, but I do have, are we gonna be taking all of it on just the 4 of us? 5 of us?
Yeah. Even
Well,
Okay.
let's put it this way. It's either a small task force doing it reasonably stealthy, or you try to get as many people as possible to overwhelm it.
It points to you
Yeah.
and stuff.
That's fair. Yeah. Though my only thing was if we could get bring some
Enough.
chips and stuff with us. But I guess the other part of that is that if we bring people, there's no one
Positive
left behind to defend the town.
I have an incredibly horrible idea, and it means giving up the giant airship.
I don't like it.
Flaming spear.
Hindenburg.
Technically, I could teleport myself to the top of that blimp, fireball the fucking blimp, and teleport back. We have a massive airship, not anymore, bitches.
That assumes
It's
hydrogen.
I know. I said.
What you could also do.
I literally prefaced this with, "I have a terrible idea."
At minimum, hole in the balloon where they sink anyway.
What you could also do is polymorph it into a large aquatic mammal. Oh, the huge manatee!
Can I use make whole to make whole?
I've made that joke several times, but you haven't yet.
I cast Swiss.
Swiss.
Cool. Well, before we hit the proceeding past this dialogue box will result in things that you cannot change later.
Quick save.
Are you ready to go, or are we ready to continue? Yes or no?
I quick save.
We'll pick that up next week.
All right.